Round 2. Fight!
Welcome back. Let's start with some really obscure post-apocalyptic fiction, shall we? David Brin's The Postman, adapted for film by Kevin Costner.
Ooh, I hear this really sucks.
I'm sorry. I am really sorry. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, poor Mr. Costner. He tries so hard.
No, it really didn't suck that badly. No, honestly, it really didn't. But someone really needs to point Kevin Costner in the direction of a good editor. The Postman is not a long book. It's less than 300 pages. The movie is almost 3 hours long, and that is not a good ratio. Also, the book's central message was that civilization wasn't destroyed by advanced weaponry or bioengineered diseases or anything along those lines. It was actually the savage nature of man, once all the trappings of civilization are stripped away, that prevented society from reforming. Now, the movie glosses over all of that completely, and instead of making an actual point, descends into a pretty by-the-numbers Mad Max ripoff, where our noble hero is able to raise an army simply by reciting a speech he stole from Shakespeare. Even though it doesn't suck as much as people think, the only part of this movie that's really worth watching for is Tom Petty's cameo. It's actually really awesome, but man, sitting through 3 hours of this movie just to catch a quick glimpse of Tom Petty is a steep price to pay. Read it before deciding to watch the movie. Now we're on to Life of Pi. This is a tough one. I mean, this is a really tough one, because the movie adaptation was extremely faithful to the book, which is something of a rarity. And the special effects in the movie are stunning. I mean, really, this is a beautiful movie. It is well worth watching. But there's something about the ending that just didn't sit very well with me.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Now, the movie leaves the ending slightly more ambiguous than the book, but not necessarily in a good way. The book leaves little doubt that Pi's second story was actually the true one, and that the animals were all simply coping mechanisms that he invented to help him survive his ordeal. That's actually a really powerful ending, and it makes you go back and reread certain scenes of the book and rethink them in a whole new light. The movie leaves it a little more open and allows for a greater possibility that there really was a tiger, a hyena, an orangutan, etc. To me, that feels like a cop-out. The main punch of the story was that Pi witnessed terrible things, and he did equally terrible things just to survive, but eventually came to terms with that own savage side of his nature. The movie was just like, yeah, there was like this tiger, oh man, it was awesome. So while I enjoyed the movie, I have to give a very slight edge to the book. So, The Mist. And this is not one of Stephen King's best-known works, which is actually kind of a shame. But it's really not that surprising when you consider how huge his body of work is.
You are the author of 56 novels, 6 nonfiction books, nearly 200 short stories.
Now, the movie was extremely polarizing, and even though I posted that big spoiler alert at the beginning of this video, I'm still not going to go into any great detail about it, because if you don't already know how it ends, you have to go watch it and experience it for yourself. Now, some people absolutely hated it, and others, like myself and even Stephen King himself, thought it was superior to the ending he wrote for his own novella. Now, the special effects and the creature designs are pretty cool too, but on the basis of the ending alone, I have to say that in this case, the movie wins, hands down. So we're going to wrap up today with H.P. Lovecraft's Herbert West Re-Animator. And this is another difficult one, because H.P. Lovecraft is one of my all-time favorite authors. This is not one of my favorite Lovecraft stories. Even he admitted that he was consciously ripping off Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Now, it's an okay story, but it lacks a lot of the truly bizarre and esoteric imagery that makes Lovecraft's fiction what it is. And even the language is subtly different. When Lovecraft really gets into his stride, his prose is more lyrical than some of the best poetry I've ever read. In this one, it's just kind of flat. But flat or not, I mean, it's still a Lovecraft story, and so it has a very stately, kind of dignified feel to it, no matter how debased or how derivative the subject matter is. Now, the movie is almost a textbook example of cult favorite. It is not a brilliant example of the filmmaker's art. It's schlocky, it's low budget, it's over the top, and it relies heavily on shocking gore and gross out humor. But it works on so many levels. It is gory, and it is funny. And best of all, actor Jeffrey Combs makes the snide, ghoulish Herbert West an almost likable, extremely unlikely anti-hero. This is a character who has absolutely no redeeming qualities, and yet when Jeffrey Combs plays him, he becomes this villain that you love to hate. You find yourself rooting for him against all odds. Seriously, that man can do no wrong in my eyes. Frankly, though, there's no clear winner on this one.
All right, we'll call it a draw.
The story is worth reading, if only for Lovecraft's writing style, and the movie is worth watching for Jeffrey Combs alone. So, in this case, we're going to call it a tie. Catch them both. Alright folks, that's as far as we're going to go for today, but I've still got one more video left in me. Tune in next time, and if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, etc. The movie leaves the ending of the story...
You suck!
Make me come over there. Especially not with the cameras rolling.
I didn't get it right in your face. I want to get it in your face.
Yeah, dude, there was like this tiger. It was cool. No, I don't mean you have to get low. I just mean aim it. Yeah, dude, there was... Now, the movie was extremely polarizing, and even though I posted that big spoiler alert, debased or derivative the subject matter is.
You suck!
Did that ruin the shot? Do I have to do it again?
Nah.